EX Kochi residential street day. Rain lingers on the cobblestones, turning the empty street into a mirror of shifting light and shadow. The silence is heavy, too heavy, as if the neighborhood itself is holding its breath. Vasha Kesham, umbrella spinning in one hand, paces the sidewalk beneath the dripping trees, eyes flitting between the pastel gates and the shimmering puddles. He crouches by a fence post where a waterlogged flyer is pinned with a rusted tack. Xavier Harcourt emerges from behind a low hedge, his smile cryptic as always, glancing toward the open field beyond the fence. "Strange morning for a walk, Vasha," Xavier murmurs, tracing a finger through the condensation on the flyer, revealing, beneath the smudged ink, the outline of a key. Vasha huffs, twisting his umbrella. "Stranger still when the streets watch back, Xavier. Did you notice it too? Not a soul around." Xavier's gaze sharpens, the playfulness fading for a beat. This street's never empty unless someone wants it that way. The question is, what did they leave behind? Both turn as the wind lifts the flyer, exposing a message scrawled in hurried script. "Find the backpack before the rain clears." A distant bell rings from a nearby veranda. Less invitation, more warning. Into restaurant, Kochi, late morning. SlumG sits at the center of the wooden table, framed by the orange wall and the whispering bamboo in the background, his smile bright but his eyes watchful as steam curls from the rice-laden banana leaf before him. He breaks the papadum with a loud crack. Inside, a hidden slip of paper flutters onto the leaf, almost missed beneath the rich sambar. Xavier Harcourt, sliding into the seat opposite, glances at the paper without breaking stride. "Got your hands dirty, I see. Interesting place for a secret ingredient." Vasha Kesham leans over SlumG's shoulder, voice pitched low. "Funny how no one's noticed us, but the waiter's been on his phone since we arrived. Logging our every move, maybe?" SlumG's gaze shifts to the cutlery holder, where a faint smudge, a greasy print in the shape of a key, marks the wood. Outside, the rain drums in erratic bursts, masking the soft buzz of a new message on SlumG's phone. On the screen, find the missing ingredient. You have 20 minutes. As Vasha keeps watch, Xavier plucks a curry bowl closer, his tone now grave. "We're not just eating, gentlemen. Someone's feeding us a puzzle." Int, Kochi restaurant, late morning. Steam drifts from the mound of rice as SlumG, methodical but wary, ladles creamy moru over the grains, his eyes flicking from the banana leaf to the backpack slouched in the corner. Its zipper slightly ajar, a scrap of red cloth peeking out like a tongue. Xavier Harcourt leans forward, voice low as the ceiling fan creaks overhead. "You ever notice how this place never gets busy during the lunch rush? Like someone called ahead, cleared the room for us." Vasha Kesham, ever alert, darts a glance at the clay pot by the window, where condensation obscures a smudged fingerprint. Distinct, deliberate. The chat on SlumG's phone vibrates with coded chatter. Hardcore X muses about the power of AI to create unseen connections, while a curious Peter Parley remarks on the rice, as if probing for a regional slip. Vasha, hands slick with dal, murmurs, "Someone's testing our attention to detail, boss. That waiter, he's been watching the door, not the customers." Dr. Henrik Dorsey breezes in, optimism undimmed, and drops quietly into the empty seat, sliding a napkin across the table. On it, a list of cities, one name circled in crimson ink. "Clues come in all flavors." Henrik grins, "And someone wants us to taste regret if we choose poorly." As SlumG hesitates, the rain outside intensifies. Each beat against the glass a subtle warning, the easy comfort of the meal now laced with the electric tang of suspicion. Yinti, Kochi restaurant, day. SlumG raises his metal cup in a silent toast, eyes flicking from the rim to the shadows cast by the orange wall. The gesture, casual enough, masks his thumb tracing the faded watermark stamped along the cup's edge, a circle enclosing a cryptic alphanumeric code. Dr. Henrik Dorsey, ever buoyant, leans in, his napkin now unfolded to reveal a crude map drawn in the margin, the route snaking from the restaurant to an abandoned spice warehouse, one street marked with a small, deliberate key. "If the pattern holds, someone expects us to chase our appetites right into a trap," Henrik murmurs, gaze steady on SlumG. Vasha Kesham, grin fading, quietly slides his own empty bowl aside, revealing a single worn rupee coin, its face scraped clean, but a fresh smear of red curry forming the outline of a question mark. Across the table, the faint ping of a new follower, Ayaguchi, appears on SlumG's phone, the avatar a blurred silhouette behind frosted glass. No details, just the message. Careful, not all that's served is meant to be eaten. Xavier Harcourt's lips curl into a sly smile as he softly asks, "How many cups of chai does it take before the truth is too bitter to swallow?" Just as SlumG's phone buzzes again, the screen flashing a single line. "The next clue walks among you." Rain resumes its steady tap behind the glass, and in the hush, every gesture, every stain, every lingering glance becomes a possible key to a puzzle whose edges are only just beginning to show. In Kochi restaurant, noon. A hush lingers, thick as the midday heat, as the young man in the straw hat, Vasha Kesham, leans forward at the table, eyes narrowed at the cryptic scrawl across a damp napkin. The orange wall glows behind him, the bamboo shadows stretching like bars. A glass sweats beside a half-eaten plate, its rim smeared with what might be fingerprints, deliberate or the careless trace of a thief. Xavier Harcourt, posture lazy but gaze razor-sharp, taps a single finger on the papers scattered before Vasha. "The handwritings are matched to the flyer," he intones, voice low. "But what's curious is the stain, masala or marker." At that, the door creaks. Genevieve Baptine slips in, her city transit lanyard flashing as she sets a tiny black notebook on the table, open to a hand-drawn map of nearby alleys. "You're not the only one being watched," she murmurs, eyes darting to the glass. "Marcus spotted someone by the bamboo an hour ago. Said they were making calls, ducking whenever a rickshaw passed." Outside, the rain resumes its measured beat. Vasha, a bead of sweat on his brow, traces the red-stained words. "Noon, it'd be." Xavier's lips twitch. "We're either expected at that bank, or someone wants us out in the open. Question is, are we chasing the clue, or are we the bait?" Inti, auto rickshaw, main road, Kochi afternoon. Rain slides in ribbons down the windshield, distorting the palm-fringed avenue and washing the world in watery secrets. SlumG sits behind the driver, eyes traveling from the swaying plush keychains, each a different animal, but one a replica of the symbol found on the papadum cipher, to the pharmacy's red sign glowing like a warning in the gloom. Dr. Henrik Dorsey, squeezed beside him, leans in, voice low and urgent. "Notice the blue bear? That's not a coincidence. Someone wants us to see it." As the rickshaw idles, Macandas Lane's message crackles over the team's chat, the words breaking through static. "Afternoon, G. Watch the mirrors. I saw a green auto tailing you back at the last stop." SlumG's fingers hover near the zipper of the backpack, rain damp but heavy with clues, while Henrik's reflection in the glass meets his own, mouth set in a line of forced optimism. "We're close, but someone's tightening the net. Pharmacy at 2 o'clock could be the handoff or an ambush." Up ahead, a shadow lingers beneath the pharmacy awning, face hidden behind a fluttering umbrella. The rickshaw's engine thrums in suspense, and as SlumG weighs his next move, a voice murmurs through the drizzle. Xavier Harcourt, unseen but ever present, his cryptic tones somehow clear above the rain. "Sometimes the road ahead is empty for a reason. Trust the keychain, not the road signs." The plush bear sways, the driver's eyes flicker in the rear view, and in that fleeting glance it's clear. The answer is closer than anyone dares admit. Int KSRTC bus, afternoon, moving. The bus jolts along a rain-slicked road, muted sunlight slanting through spotted windows as Vasha Kesham leans his straw-hatted head against the cool glass, gaze tracing the watery reflections of passing buses. His hand lingers at the back of his neck, absently rubbing a faded bruise from the morning scuffle, a bruise he's not sure how he got. Across the aisle, Genevieve Baptine adjusts her city transit lanyard, scanning the seats with brisk efficiency, her voice cutting through the hum of the engine. "They're tracking this route, Vasha. 2 buses ago, a red umbrella boarded and never got off. We're being watched." Vasha's lips twitch, half amused, half wary, as he taps a message into his phone. Just as Macandas Lane, sitting forward with a reassuring warmth, murmurs, "Bus transfers leave records, but mopeds don't. Someone wants us visible but not unreachable." Outside, a flash of yellow, a school bus idling at a crossroads, blinds him for a second, and he catches his own reflection staring back, eyes sharp with new suspicion. As another message pops in from Xavier Harcourt. "Window seat, third row. Watch the bag beneath." Vasha's hand tightens on the blue plastic seat, tension threading through the relaxed air. The city blurs by, a puzzle of signs and bus numbers as Genevieve leans closer, voice urgent. "We're not alone on this route, and the clues are moving faster than we are. Next stop we split. You follow the watcher, I'll cover the kiosk. We're running out of time." Into brightly lit local restaurant, Alappuzha night. Rain taps the glass as SlumG, straw hat tilted askew, inspects a half-eaten pakora, the golden crust dusted with flecks of red masala. Except upon closer inspection, one piece is stamped with a faint, oily fingerprint that does not match his own. Across the table, Dr. Henrik Dorsey, ever the optimist, leans in, voice just above a whisper. "Notice the reflection, G, not the food, the window behind you." SlumG's eyes flick to the glass, catching the briefest outline of a man in a yellow auto rickshaw parked across the street, engine idling too long, headlights flickering in sync with the pulse in his wrist. Before he can react, Genevieve Baptin slips into the seat beside him, rainwater dripping from her lanyard, scanning the room with the casual alertness of someone who's spent a lifetime navigating crowds. "You're being watched, and not just by the regulars," she murmurs, sliding a napkin toward him, its center embossed with the Athens hotel crest but folded to reveal a scrawled number. 7:13. "Your window of safety is closing." Outside, the rickshaw's door cracks open. Henrik's encouragement steals the moment. "Let's see who comes in for dessert, shall we?" As SlumG sets the tainted pakora aside and reaches for a stainless fork, uncertain whether it is a utensil or a weapon, uncertain still whether the next bite will bring him closer to the answer or draw the hunters in. Int auto rickshaw, Alappuzha Street's night. Rain stutters against the plastic cover as the rickshaw weaves through shimmering puddles, neon shop fronts blurring past like secrets barely glimpsed. Inside, SlumG sits tense behind the driver, his gaze flicking from the phone's glowing screen to the warped reflection of the purple raincoat pacing beneath a yellow auto just outside. Dr. Henrik Dorsey, voice calm but eyes darting, leans in as they approach a cluster of bright lights. "That's our third pass by the bakery. Someone's making sure we're seen." From the plastic-wrapped seat behind, Genevieve Baptin taps a rhythmic warning on the metal rail, her tone clipped. "Purple coat! Been tailing us since the last turn. If the watchers want a spectacle, they'll pick a busy stretch." A sudden ping. An anonymous message flashes on SlumG's phone. "Turn left at the lantern or lose the trail." The rickshaw driver's knuckles whiten as he catches Dr. Henrik's eyes in the mirror, silent signal passing between them. Outside, laughter erupts from under a shop awning, but it's the hush that follows, a held breath, a shadow pausing in the rain that chills the air. "One wrong move, and we're not chasing the culprit anymore," Henrik whispers. "We become the bait." As the rickshaw slows at the intersection, every raindrop on the glass seems to spell a different warning, and in the luminous wash of Alappuzha's monsoon, the city itself becomes an accomplice, hiding answers behind every passing face. Int auto rickshaw, Alappuzha streets. Night. Street lights smear gold across the rain-slicked windshield as the rickshaw wends through narrow lanes, engine humming low beneath the patter of monsoon drizzle. Dr. Henrik Dorsey sits forward, his keen eyes never leaving the reflection of passing neon in the glass, voice hushed but urgent. "That bag of groceries, notice the label? It's from the Lotus Bazaar, 2 hours closed. Someone planted it." SlumG, tense but composed, brushes his fingers against the plastic as if expecting it to bite, murmuring, "If there's a message, it'll be hidden where only the cautious will check." The driver's knuckles whiten on the handlebar, and in the rearview mirror, a sliver of violet, just the edge of a purple raincoat, appears and vanishes like a threat half-whispered. Henrik's optimism is a lifeline. We're not alone, but that's our advantage tonight. As the rickshaw glides past a shuttered pharmacy, a flicker of movement catches SlumG's attention, a shadow pausing beside a lamppost, phone camera glinting, tracking their every turn. From the chat, Horace Hoffman's message pings, barely audible over the rain. Heard in the tavern, if they want you distracted, they'll show you the light, but the clue's always in the dock. SlumG exchanges a loaded glance with Henrik, then, with practiced calm, tugs the bag open. Inside, not vegetables, but a folded slip of paper, edges stained with rainwater and red ink. 7:13, Athens Hotel. The rickshaw slows at the next intersection. For a heartbeat, time holds. Then SlumG's phone buzzes, screen aglow with a new message from Owen Killmaster. If you make it in time, you'll see the truth in the reflection. The city's hum grows distant as the rickshaw veers toward the unknown. Every street lamp a potential witness, every shadow a silent suspect.